It starts on the very first page. Before the flood, before the covenant, before the commandments, before all of that comes the lie. The woman is not made equal, not created alongside man, but pulled from him, a rib, an afterthought, an accessory. Her story begins in subordination and ends in blame. And when she reaches for knowledge, just knowledges, he is punished without mercy. Dear listener, open to Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. It reads, "When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat. For reaching toward wisdom, she becomes the scapegoat for humanity's fall. Her curiosity is branded as sin. Her body becomes the vessel of shame." From that origin myth forward, woman is no longer an image bearer of God. She is the root of suffering, the danger to avoid, the warning etched into Scripture. And that story has fueled centuries of subjugation. But it doesn't stop there. It gets worse. In the Old Testament laws, women are not treated as people. They are commodities. Daughters are sold, wives are bartered, virgins are prizes. Women are inherited like livestock, their value reduced to obedience and sexual availability. And if she's violated, the crime is not against her, it's against the man who owns her. Turn now to Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 28 and 29. Here's what it says. "If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife." Let that sink in. A girl is raped, and her punishment is to marry her rapist for life, not to protect her, but to restore the father's honor. This isn't justice. This is institutionalized misogyny dressed as divine law. And still it goes deeper. The Bible is obsessed with controlling the female body. Menstruation is declared unclean. Childbirth becomes a curse. Dear listener, go and read Leviticus chapter 12. There we find this shocking detail. "If a woman have conceived seed and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. But if she bear a maid-child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks. Twice the shame, twice the exclusion, for bringing another girl into the world." This isn't holiness. This is fear. Fear of a woman's power, her creativity, her independence. And then there is Deuteronomy 22, 23, 24. "If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die." Why? Because the woman didn't scream loud enough. Her voice is erased, her trauma put on trial. Dear listener, this is not sacred. This is strategic, a system of control, not of compassion. Fast forward to the New Testament. The restrictions tighten. In 1 Timothy chapter 2, it becomes law. "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." Not because of her actions, but because of her sex. Her being becomes disqualifying. She may pray, she may serve, but she may never rise. Even those who do rise prophetesses, teachers, visionary are silenced in the record. There's Junia, mentioned clearly in Romans chapter 16, verse 7. "Salute Andronicus and Junia, who are of note among the apostles." an apostle, a woman. But later her name is changed. One letter, Junior becomes Junius, a man. A theft, a deletion, a rewriting of history to erase female authority. It didn't stop in the text. It bled into daily life. Women told to cover their heads, not out of modesty, but out of rank, their voice untrustworthy, their presence disruptive. This wasn't reverence, it was ranking. And the obsession with virginity, that was never about virtue. It was about ownership, a girl's worth reduced to her hymen, her body turned into property. Dear listener, what is the legacy of all this? A long chain of denial, a history of silenced voices. Women taught to doubt themselves, to despise their bodies, to lower their eyes and bite their tongues. Not because God said so, but because men wrote it that way. This wasn't divine plan, it was strategy. And it's time to say it clearly. The church didn't merely neglect women. It built itself on their backs, then told them to kneel. Dear listener, no God of justice would ordain leadership based on birth. No sane logic would say that a womb disqualifies you from wisdom. And no spiritual truth demands silence from half the human race. We are not bound by ancient orders built to protect fear. Fear of sharing power, fear of being wrong, fear of a woman who dares to rise. Because we don't need scripture to tell us what is fair. We have reason, we have fire, and we have a future to build. One not dictated by who was allowed to speak back then, but by who refuses to stay silent now.